Love Island in Dublin will bang. It just be raining. Coming out in a jean jacket. Amy. The next person comes out in Arsene Wenger's long jacket because it's freezing. Well, I'm thinking the Roberto Carlos free kick going past Shay Given.
It wouldn't go past Shay Given.
Shay Given saves it. So Roberto Carlos's famous free kick doesn't happen,
Right.
too, because of Shay Given's hand.
Good.
People, it's a new episode of Your Black Man Signs It Dan, a show where we change footballing history and the history of the world. Myself, Specs Gonzalez here as host with my co-host, Tego. Tego, how you doing?
Doing well.
Today we got a big guest, man. Someone that I just found out I'm related to.
Yep.
And he's a big fan of Tetris.
Yeah.
One of the worst games to come out on Game Boy.
About the film.
Oh, the film's even worse, but apparently he directed it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ciaran Carlin.
Yeah.
He's actually a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies.
Don't say that.
Yeah,
You
I
watched
watched
them all.
back to back.
There's 9.
There's 10. And then Hobbs and Shaw.
You watched 10.
Yeah, back to back.
Oh, I'm going to test you here.
Took 24 hours.
So I haven't watched it. I only watched the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the trailer doesn't sell to me.
Yeah.
I don't like when you're in the car and the camera's outside and I'm driving really fast and I can't see the buildings because they're like smudged because I'm going fast. But every minute, Diesel will just look at the camera. Diesel, why are you looking at me driving? That's dangerous.
Diesel.
Is that his name? Van Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Diesel. If you want to watch film with cars doing some stuff, then you need to go watch John Wick.
Oh, I watched John Wick 4 the other day.
Yeah,
Actually.
that was very good. See what the cars were doing when he was shooting in the streets.
Yeah, you should
That's the
watch
kind of
Cars.
A lot of cars in that.
I've watched Cars.
Yeah,
and planes.
Mater.
But the problem with Cars
He's my guy.
is the cars are talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
It's like a level up from Herbie.
so what? Are you telling me Cars is better than Fast and Furious?
I'm telling you, Herbie's better than all of them.
Herbie.
Herbie Reloaded.
Both of them, yeah.
Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan.
Lohan or no Lindsay Lohan, it's fine.
Well, now that we've cleared that up, what we're here for today, we're going to ask and answer the question, what if Wimbledon had become the Dublin Dons?
Oh, I remember Wimbledon back in the day, you know.
The crazy gang, as they were known, were notoriously hard to play against. In fact, they were horrible to play against. Now, Vinnie Jones, Larry Sanchez, John Fashioner, and Dennis Wise, those names, they all come with their own set of baggage. Dennis Wise was a big troublemaker, even destroyed the Blue Peter Garden as a kid.
You know, Dennis Wise's
Allegedly.
forehead used to come out.
Yeah.
His face, like, just... What's going on the back of his leg?
Vinnie Jones used to just over the ball tackle and destroy players for fun. That was how he got around not being great at football.
Yeah, that's how he got famous, isn't it?
They played Route 1 football. They were physical, hard in the tackle. No team enjoyed playing against them, and no one knew how to deal with them. They left their home stadium, Plough Lane, for Selhurst Park temporarily, sharing with Crystal Palace, as their original stadium was no longer fit for purpose due to new laws as the result of the Hillsborough disaster. Plough Lane was just a building site for years in a very lucrative property development area in Wimbledon. And there was a dog track just over the road. So if you like dog racing.
It feels a bit odd to like dog racing.
I 100% agree.
That feels like what you're doing on the weekend. I'm actually going to go watch some dogs run. What, for
the
money?
park?
Well, yeah, all right. It's like one above like cockfighting, one below horse racing.
Yeah, I don't want to think about what training those dogs have to go through to be able to chase that rabbit that
You
fast.
just let them off.
No, you got to wind them up though.
I didn't even know they were chasing the rabbit.
Show 'em things.
The rabbit is gone.
In 1996, the then owner Sam Hammam had the idea of moving the Dons to Dublin. He thought tapping into Ireland's appetite for English football would benefit the club.
A South London team wanted to go to Ireland.
They wanted to become the Dublin Dons. In a lot of ways, should probably still happen.
All of this because you haven't got a stadium.
Well, they didn't have a stadium, but also they were a small team in the most expensive city to build in. So to build a new stadium was probably unrealistic. Eamon Dunphy, a football pundit and friend of then Wimbledon manager Joe Kinnear, believed bringing the Dons to Dublin would be great for the development of Irish football and an opportunity for Irish players to play at a high level without
That's
moving
interesting.
abroad.
That's it. I like that. I like that, man. Matt Holland, wonder kid.
From
Steve
Essex,
Staunton.
but yeah.
yeah.
Wonder kid.
Eamon Dunphy was so enthusiastic about the prospect that he organised a consortium to buy the club and oversee the move. The consortium included the owner Sam Hammam, Paul McGuinness, who was U2's manager.
Paul McGuinness is my coach at Werder Bremen. He's my coach. Mental 18, defending 18, adaptability 19. That's why I brought him to Germany.
Paul McGuinness, U2's manager, was joined by Tommy Higgins, the head of Ticketmaster in Ireland.
I don't know him. Say Robbie Stockdale, he's my coach too.
Maurice Cassidy, the director of HMV in Ireland.
Ah! HMV is in Ireland. Stored. Go on, yeah, keep going.
And Owen O'Callaghan, a property developer who had planning permission to build a new stadium.
Anyone that's called O, any Irish man that's called O is, I love them already. You know already O'Connor is, Terry O'Connor is my guy.
Even though his name's Terry Connor.
No, it's O'Connor now.
Ultimately, it didn't happen. The FAI, UEFA and FIFA opposed the move and the plans collapsed.
People always get involved. It's got nothing to do with them.
Why has it got nothing to do with them?
Like, this is the FA. This is the Football Association side. Let us deal with this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't come over there if you're over there.
Sam Hammam sold Wimbledon to Norwegian businessmen Bjorn Rune Gjeltsen and Kjell Inge Rocker
Why did
a year later.
why was every Norwegian them days called Bjorn, by the way?
I was going to say, was that only 2 people?
There was 2 people. Yes, like Erling Braut Haaland, who is Norwegian. And it wouldn't be enough to keep Wimbledon afloat. They were relegated to Division 1 in 2000. They eventually ended up in their new home of Milton Keynes. So they moved anyway. They packed their bags, went up to Milton Keynes, and they were later renamed the MK Dons. Now, the question we're going to ask and answer is, what if Wimbledon were allowed and became the Dublin Dons?
Well, that would be great. Listen, we're going to make them the Dublin Dons,
Yeah.
by the way, because I want to... Growing up, it was always like, you know, Rangers and Celtic that were big in Scotland. But there was never no Irish or Welsh or Northern Irish team that was there like them.
Cardiff and Swansea were up.
Yeah, but they wasn't like Rangers and...
No.
Yeah, so we're going to make this Dublin Dons. It's just the Dons I don't like. Like 90s, we're talking Dublin United or Dublin City. There wasn't no Dons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I reckon you try and if you're gonna move and create a whole new thing, you try and like modernize it.
Yeah.
And you go forward. And I think you just go for like the Wimbledubs.
I like that. Wimbledubs.
Because you've got Dublin and then you've also got a big fat dub.
Yeah.
Wimbledubs FC. That is a name. Like Wimbledubs FC versus Sevilla. Look at that.
Wimbledubs.
Very intimidating.
Do you know what?
name as well.
You're making me want to... I could do this on Foot Manager right now. you
Sounds like a fantasy football team name. So we're changing the name to the
know?
Wimbledubs.
Yeah, we're sticking that.
We're dropping Dons.
But if you play for the Wimbledubs, your name has an O. So
All right.
Vinny O. Jones.
FN Oekoku.
Yeah, like John O. Fashion.
I always say geography is a big part of football because Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham. There's a reason these are the biggest teams in the country. And it's because big football players like the idea of living in nice cities. Dublin probably ranks
Number 1.
in that conversation
Number
as
1.
being the best city in this new Premier League. Do you think that means Wimbledon now, or Wimbledubs, now become a legitimately attractive location for a player like Jaap Stam?
Arsene Wenger doesn't go to Arsenal, he goes to Wimbledubs.
Wow.
And that attracts the Jaap Stams, the Patrick Vieira's, the Dennis Bergkamps. So Dublin now becomes the place where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all these shows are actually recorded in Dublin.
Why?
Because you're saying that the city, like London,
Yeah.
Manchester, all these places that you host all these things. Now, it's got to be in Dublin as well.
But you're making it sound like Dublin's part of the United Kingdom and they might have some problems with that.
Is it?
Yeah, they would.
Who wants to be a millionaire in Dublin is a problem with the United Kingdom? I don't understand. Love Island is in where? Where is it? Where's Love Island, T? Where's Love Island? Tell me where Love Island is.
Spain.
Exactly. There you go. What's the difference?
I suppose you're right.
Love Island in Dublin will bang. It just be raining. Coming out in a jean jacket. Amy. The next person comes out in Arsene Wenger's long jacket because it's freezing. Yeah, Love Island in Dublin, man. My peoples, if you're enjoying this video, remember you can listen to more episodes on BBC Sounds. Let's get back to business.
Wimbledon are the Wimbledubs. They're in Dublin.
Yep.
They're building steadily. They're attracting players. Love Island's now in Ireland. It's dropped in the mid-90s.
Arsene Wenger's coming, by the way.
Arsene Wenger has landed.
He's doing the Shein adverts before Love Island starts.
Exactly, yes. Sheehan Wenger collection. Yeah.
Ocean.
Oh, Sheehan, sorry. Yeah. At what point are we saying Wimbledubs could be legitimate title challengers?
I think when a young Kevin Doyle comes through.
Kevin Doyle.
Comes through the ranks.
Yeah.
He helps propel them into like Real Madrid status, that
Wow.
level.
Wimbledubs make a big statement where they enter Le Tournoi. 1997. England. No, was England in it?
Yep.
France, Brazil, and Italy.
It was basically the precursor to the Confederations Cup,
Where Roberto Carlos scores that famous goal.
the curling free kick.
I want Wimbledubs in this competition. Because that's what shoots up their reputation to be a dominant force in the early 2000s.
Because they get to play with international teams.
Yeah.
It feels a bit. Can you make a combined Irish team essentially become a stateside?
Wow.
Well, I'm thinking the Roberto Carlos free kick going past Shay Given.
It wouldn't go past Shea Given.
Shay Given saves it. So Roberto Carlos's famous free kick doesn't happen,
Right.
too,
Yeah.
because of Shay Given's hand,
Good.
which puts Shay Given on a map of the face of goalkeepers, which makes the whole world watch Wimbledubs. That makes them a dominant force in the early 2000s.
And they've gone incredibly strong, a lot stronger than they initially did into the 2002 World Cup. The World Cup.
Yeah, great Ireland team
And
in
they
that World Cup.
don't lose to Spain on penalties.
No. So they're going semis.
Yeah,
They go semis.
I'm a very happy child.
So does Roy Keane get sent home in 2002 then again? Was that
Oh,
two?
that's a great question. Okay, so
Or Roy Keane gets sent home and somebody comes to replace Roy Keane.
Roy Keane.
Vinio Jones.
Vinio Jones.
Vinio Jones.
Vinio Jones comes and replaces Roy Keane.
Vinio Jones abandons his Welsh citizenship, which he bought somewhere.
Yeah. And because of his citizenship in Dublin
Yeah.
for the last 10 years,
Right.
he becomes Irish. So if you play, in fact, if you play for Dublin, Wimbledubs
Wimbledubs.
for more than 3 years, you can play for Ireland.
Yeah, that I think that used to be a rule. There's a German man who played goalkeeper for Northern Ireland, so I'm pretty sure you could just pick at that point.
So Vinio Jones
Vinio Jones goes to the 2002 World Cup, replaces Roy Keane,
plays for Roy Keane.
and they beat Spain on penalties.
They beat Spain in penalties, but we're not going to get in the World Cup yet.
No, they're not ready to win the World Cup. No. Listen, Nintendo 64 debuts in 1996.
Ooh, no loading. No loading. They weren't like places. No loading. I still got it at my house now. You can borrow it. Remember, I got your white as well. Remember?
Yes.
It's mine now.
We've got this rule in place in Ireland where if you play it for Wimbledubs for 3 years, you are qualifying for an Irish passport. Who do you think Arsene Wenger's taken over there, given 3 years, and maybe making this Irish team? Obviously, we've got Vinio Jones. Arsene Wenger in 1996 would be saying Marco Overmars.
Ooh, that's a great Marco Overmars. Nicholas Owenelka. Gilles Ogramandi. Igor O. Stepanovs. I think it's the O. Overmars.
It's got to be the O
It's-
Overmars.
yeah, it's for the commentators.
Yeah. They start calling him Overmars. If there's one thing missing from the Fast and Furious franchise, and let's be clear, they tapped into the Latino market, they tapped into the wrestling market, they tapped into the racially ambiguous lead actor market. They never quite cracked the Irish market. Does the Fast and Furious franchise need a Vinio Jones? Does it need an Irish element?
They like their travelling. Instead of Gal Gadot, matey from Tokyo Drift. I never learnt all their names. It was a waste of time.
Yeah, that was
Matey from Tokyo Drift ends up having a thing with Vinnie Jones in the film. Yeah, I don't know about behind the scenes. It's up to them.
Yeah, it could happen.
But then Vinnie Jones dies at the end of one of the films.
Oh.
But he comes back.
Yeah, of course.
Because no one ever dies.
No, it's Fast
It's
and
literally
Furious,
impossible.
yeah.
We see him die,
Yeah.
loses his head, but he
Yeah.
comes back, because it was all his head just actually got smaller.
Yeah.
Came back up again like a balloon.
Yeah, that Men in Black.
And then he once again sort of comes full circle and he quits football for acting again.
Oh wow!
I like that.
So he's quit acting after X-Men Last Stand and gone back to football.
He's old. He's old, though, no?
But he's out of football to go back to the Fast franchise.
But when he dies in Fast and Furious, it's because he has to go and do another film. And that film is The Irishman. We don't have all those old guys in The Irishman because they were very slow. The film was 3 hours long because they've got to walk around. Now we've got a former footballer who's fit. So the film now is only 55 minutes. But it's about Vinnie Jones changing his nationality from Welsh to Irish.
And it's directed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, the director's fine. It's just I don't want Al Pacino and what's the other one?
De Niro.
I don't want all those guys in there. They're done.
Executive produced by Kevin Doyle as well.
Yeah, so who also executive produced the Irish version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Love Island.
That's right, Love Island.
Wimbledon have moved to Dublin.
That's right, and they're called the Wimbledubs
Why?
because Ciaran, you came up with the name.
Yep. It's a good name.
It's a great name, Wimbledubs.
Arsene Wenger skips Arsenal and decides there's an exciting new project going on in Dublin and joins the Wimbledubs
That's right.
to encourage players to play for the Wimbledubs. The Irish government implements a new rule that says if you play here for 3 years, you can qualify for Irish citizenship. The 2002 World Cup goes very well for Ireland. They make it to Spain, but where Roy Keane was sent home in 2002, this time he's replaced with Vinnie O. Jones.
Vinnie O. Jones. Bear in mind, Vinnie O. Jones has been trying to get into this Irish team, the national team, based on Shay Given's save when Roberto Carlos had that shot at Le Tournois. We now don't see adverts of that goal every year for 20 years. We see Shay Given's hand just tip it wide, and now Shay Given is the face of football.
The whole sport.
the whole sport.
Kevin Doyle becomes the executive producer of Love Island, moves it to Ireland. It's now called Love Ireland, but everyone wears like heavy coats and stuff because it's raining all summer. And he also becomes the executive producer of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which is now shot in Dublin. And he's the executive producer from Fast and the Furious 6 onwards. And he moves the franchise to Ireland and introduces a new character to the series, who is newly Irish Vinnie O. Jones.
Vinnie O. Jones. And remember, he has to leave halfway. He dies in Fast and Furious. He dies because he has to go and shoot his other film, which was The Irishman, which is 55 minutes long.
Now 55 minutes long because the movie has pace.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with that, T.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I'm
Ciaran,
happy-
you happy?
Yeah. Another Fast and Furious to watch. I'm good.
Well, listen, Dublin's the place, man. It's and we've made the Irish teams better than where they are today.
And Finlay and Hornswoggle are in charge of security at the Wimbledubs Stadium.
Of course, man.
And
So
like
I'm
the
happy.
that guy.
Listen, we're not.
The Tottenham security guy.
Oh, yeah.
The Hornswoggle's doing it to your knee.
Yeah. He just does it to your shins. Yeah.
Not hiding anything under those shins, are you?
Ciaran, Carlin, man, thanks for coming on. Wimbledubs. I mean, AFC Wimbledon, if you're watching, I think you might have to really take this name.
Yeah.
There's no copyright here. He's not going to hold on to it.
I will.
Intellectual property.
Yeah, because it's
Give me as much as they gave to the lady who designed the night tick.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll do that. Give me a percentage of Wimbledubs.
Wimbledubs is class, man. Thanks for coming on, my bro.
Thank you.
Thank you for the passengers.
It's all right.
And stop watching Tetris. Fast and Furious is gonna stop soon. Don't worry. I'm gonna kick his DVD, man. Player. Anyway, people, that was If Blackman Signs It. Dan, I love you all. There's no rules, man. Peace. People, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to BBC Sounds to watch more episodes of If Blackburn Signs It. Dan, come and check, you know.